Kai fans, we are so back. Welcome back to the channel. The official trailer for Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 is released. So let's cut the chit chat right out of the gate and let's break down this sucker. Right off the bat, we get some recognizable opening shots of Miyagi-Do arriving to the Sekai Taikai in Barcelona. And we hear a voiceover of the announcer introducing all of the competitors and senseis to the Sekai Taikai. It's pretty self-explanatory. This will definitely be an introductory scene where the competing dojos will be meeting each other for the first time. It could even be right where we left off in Part 1's finale. And in the first shot we actually do see from Part 2, that actually becomes truth, because if you zoom in, you'll see Gunther giving this exact speech of welcoming everyone to the Sekai Taikai. And like I said, if you zoom in, you'll actually see our characters in their exact looks from right where we left off with them in Part 1. We then see a football-type huddle of Miyagi-Do, of Miguel actually taking some of the leadership role, which is kind of ironic because Sam and Robbie are the captains of Miyagi-Do, as we all know, and it looks like Miguel is still sticking to his guns because Miguel's a natural-born leader just like Robbie, and it seems like he's taking more of that leadership role at the current stage from what we've seen in the majority of the trailer, but I'll touch on that more as we go on. The next bit of shots are actually pretty quick, and they go by even if you just blink for a second, and they all pretty much have a similar theme, and that's Miyagi-Do getting their absolute butts handed to them. We see shots of characters like Hawk getting dropped, Devin, Dimitri, even Tori actually gets hit a couple times and shows that some of these dojos are no joke, and even Daniel and Johnny are seen briefly wincing, making it look like things are really not going well for Miyagi-Do out the gate. And as Tori takes a very gruesome shot, we see the reveal of a brand new character of Reina Valentingham playing Zara Malik, who's going to be taking part in the Iron Dragons dojo with Louis Tan, aka Sensei Wolf, and Patrick Lewis, who's going to be playing Axel Kovacevic. And yeah, just judging from this trailer alone, these Iron Dragons mean business, and I'll touch upon that later on in the trailer as well. But then we also get our first line from Zara, and it's set to Tori in perfect Tori fashion of "Welcome to Barcelona, bitch." Zara then blows a kiss to the crowd, showing she's got that cocky attitude, and I think we just may have found our new female protagonist for Sam and Tori. Another small detail I want to point out in the background as Zara's blowing a kiss to the crowd is that we get our very first look at Axel in the background, and he is a big dude. We then cut to Dimitri planting seeds of doubt, saying there's no way that we can win this tournament. We see the rest of the Miyagi-Do students with Dimitri gathered in a hotel room, and I'm guessing this is taking place after a rather rough day in the tournament, because why would Dimitri say that there's no way for them to win if they haven't actually competed in any fights yet? These seeds of doubt planted by Dimitri is then followed up with Daniel trying to offer the students a little bit of encouragement, saying that Cobra Kai is one of 16 dojos, and it's not just them versus Cobra Kai anymore. They knew this wasn't going to be easy. We then get a really cool training scene between Kreese and Cobra Kai's captains, Tori and Quan, where Quan is looking fierce as ever. I loved also seeing some more shots of the Iron Dragons in action, and Zara with that bow staff is absolutely crazy. Axel just looks like a machine ready to wreak havoc. And then in that same gathering lobby area, we see the Cobra Kais and the Miyagi-Dos gathered around each other. There's no dialogue being said between any of them, and there's no punches being thrown. So it really makes me wonder what exactly is the context and what's going on in that scene. Now here's where it starts to get real juicy. We see Sam and Tori on the mat facing off once again for the billionth time. You know that fight's gonna carry a lot of emotion given the current state of everything and the stakes. We then cut to what's gonna be a really cool callback of Juan putting his arm around Tori and looking like he's giving her a little bit of a kiss with Robbie watching. It's a direct callback to the Karate Kid 1 where Daniel visits the country club to pick up Allie, and Allie's there dancing with Johnny, and Johnny sticks his face right on her, and Daniel gets the wrong idea, so I'm wondering if that's going to be the case between Robbie, Quan, and Tori here. We're then shown a very unique geometric shape. I don't even know how many sides are on that shape. I'm not going to count them, but we see all 6 fighters from 2 dojos. I'm guessing, yeah, that's Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do. It always goes back to them too, of course. And this definitely looks like, obviously, a team competition of sorts, because 10 of these fighters are surrounding them in this shape, while one of them from each dojo is fighting one-on-one on the inside. This is very interesting. I wonder what constitutes different fighters to enter, but this is definitely a very unique concept that's going to add an all-new flavor of something that we're not used to when it comes to tournaments in this universe. I was going to bring this up later, but perhaps I'll bring it up now. It looks like Kenny is now fighting for Miyagi-Do at the Sekai Taikai. We don't exactly know who he's subbing in for, but we do see Dimitri on the far left Sam in the top left corner, Kenny in the top right, and then I think that's Miguel on the far right, and then we of course got Robbie in the middle fighting Tori. That means the only other fighter that's not pictured in this shot is Hawk or Devin. So that means in that final singular spot at the bottom of this shape is gonna have Hawk or Devin there, and that means that Kenny is in fact gonna be substituting for Hawk or Devin. I mean, unless there's some sort of injury that's taking place, that's the only reason I can really think of that would constitute a substitution in this type of tournament, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. We then see a different angle of this exact fight where we see a better look at Kenny in the background, and Tori kicks Robbie to the ground. There's definitely going to be a lot of tension in this part between these two, and it kind of makes sense. You know, Tori kind of just left without telling anyone and joined the enemy. Robbie may think that there's some funny business going on with her and Quan, or there actually might be, but Robbie's not going to be happy about it either way. We then cut to the scoreboard where out of 16 teams that Daniel mentioned earlier, Miyagi-Do is in a pitiful 11th place with only 17 points, so they are not doing well at all in this tournament. It's also accompanied by a voiceover from a pissed off Miguel telling Robbie, "You have an opportunity of a lifetime to be captain and you're completely blowing it." Directly following that voiceover from Miguel, we hear a voiceover from Quan, who's taunting Robbie once again, saying, "Let's see what you got." And it shows Miguel and Robbie seemingly looking at Quan. They could be looking at something completely different, but it looks like Robbie's about to head in and fight Quan. The next part of this trailer is definitely the most gruesome and the one that interested me the most. No, I don't like to see Robbie getting hurt. He's one of my favorite characters in this show, but it just shows how brutal the Sekai Taikai is going to be. We see Axel completely obliterating Robbie with a right cross to the face, and you can see blood and spit spewing out of his mouth as he connects with it. You can even see in the background for further confirmation, it says Axel with the Iron Dragons logo, and you can even see the face of Patrick Lewis there, so that confirms that. But man, it really seems like anything is going to be going in this Sekai Taikai. What rules are even going to be put in place? We then see Kreese telling Daniel that some of us have nothing to lose, but he tells Daniel that he has a lot to lose, which is kind of true. And this is just brilliant placement in these Cobra Kai trailers. We see Miguel, who's absolutely looks heartbroken and sad, hugging Johnny. I don't know where exactly they are or if they're in Barcelona still or not, but clearly something really bad has to happen for Miguel to be so heartbroken with this. Maybe one of his friends got injured. Maybe Sam got injured and something happened to her. I don't know, but this cannot mean anything good for our Miyagi-Do students, especially Miguel and Johnny. Because Johnny, even look at Johnny's face, he looks completely defeated. We then see a first look shot of another new character of Louis Tan, who's going to be playing Sensei Wolf of the Iron Dragons Dojo, and he gets a voiceover saying, "I know Americans, and that you have no idea." And then we see him absolutely abusing his student Axel, which is very interesting. That may be why Axel is so ruthless and aggressive and good at what he does. He then follows up on the voiceover saying that Americans pretty much don't know what it takes to win. And now this could be a misdirect from the trailer, but it's making it out like Sam is looking in on Axel getting hit by his sensei. This could be the introduction on how the beach scene happens that leaked a few months ago between Miguel and Axel. But like I said, this very well could be a misdirect in the trailer. They tend to do that quite a bit. The trailer then cuts to yet another all-new event, and it looks like it's an elimination match, judging by the scoreboard. But it looks like they're going to have two fighters from each dojo competing on a platform off the ground with some mats on the ground. And it looks like they got to kick their opponents off to win, which is absolutely insane. We're far beyond that classic 3-point system that takes place in your usual All-Valley tournament. We then find out that this voiceover from Sensei Wolf is actually an interaction between Johnny and Sensei Wolf, which I definitely think is a rivalry that's just getting ready to brew. Cute little comedic scene between Sensei Wolf and Johnny, and it definitely looks like it's going to spark some sort of rivalry between these two. We then cut to a Johnny Lawrence classic monologue where he's talking about, "We've heard all this crap about loyalty," and this does sound like a classic Johnny Lawrence pep talk to his students, and we actually see him talking to Miyagi-Do in a very somber looking locker room. So I'm guessing that's where that takes place, but we'll just have to wait and see. We see Tori looking in the mirror, kind of like reflecting on all of her decisions and maybe even what she's fighting for, partnered with the great camera work of focusing in on Kreese in the background. Then some of my favorite things are shown in this trailer, and it's the crazy aerial shots of Daniel, Johnny, Sam, Robbie, and Miguel training in Barcelona. It's important to note that these are the clothes that they were wearing in that leaked footage from Barcelona a few months ago, where Sam, Robbie, and Miguel were all running up the steps like Rocky. It's still unknown where the rest of the team is while they're training here, but that, along with numerous other things, will just have to be explained when the season actually comes out. Some of the other cool Barcelona footage that's shown is of Johnny, Robbie, and Sam standing on the railing, doing a little bit of Johnny's kata, I guess, with Barcelona in the background. Just a great shot. And then Daniel doing his own version of kata with Robbie and Sam in some sort of chapel or museum. I don't know how they got in here to be able to actually train in their bare feet. It's so weird, but it works. And Johnny's actually, in this voiceover, is giving quite the speech. Like I said earlier, we've heard all this crap about loyalty, but then he continues by saying, but we've all trained somewhere else at some point, and all that matters is where our asses are at right now. And that's true, because there's been so many dojo hopping throughout the 6 seasons of Cobra Kai, and it's ultimately landed them here, all together united under one dojo, fighting on the global stage. We then see Daniel LaRusso very frustrated and grabbing Kreese and slamming him against the wall. First, before I go any further, I need this jacket that Kreese is wearing. It looks absolutely badass. We probably will never be able to get one because the merchandising department, whoever's in charge of the merchandising for Cobra Kai, never releases anything directly from the show. But why is Daniel LaRusso so mad at Kreese here? Or I guess that's kind of a dumb question. We all know he's always angry at Kreese, but Kreese must do something to poke the bear here, and I'm anxious to find out what it is. We get some more badass shots of Quan versus Robbie. Robbie doing a kip-up just like his father did in the 84 All Valley versus Daniel, and Quan doesn't look too happy. He was amused by teasing with Robbie, but now Quan might have poked the bear just like Kreese poked the bear with Daniel, and they might quickly regret it. Another one of my favorite shots of this trailer is the aerial shot of Robbie seemingly looking like he's about to land a big point on Quan, and this is interesting here. If you look at the scoreboard, it says elimination round 2. So does this mean whoever loses between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, will they be eliminated from the tournament? I'm not sure, but that's what the scoreboard says. Some more shots of the tournament are shown with Hawk and Sam fighting in the tournament in some sort of 2v2 maybe? That'd be kind of cool if we get a little Hawk and Sam LaRusso team up. Never thought I'd see that. And then we got Sam fighting 3 Cobra Kais in the street at night of Barcelona. What is Sam doing here? And Quan is one of those people she's fighting. Is she trying to die tonight? Jeez, crow. I mean, it doesn't look like Sam's completely alone here, because if you look to the left, you see someone in a non-Cobra Kai jacket, so it doesn't look like Sam's alone here, but then again, it could just be some other random that she's also fighting with. Let's hope that Sam's not alone, because if she is, she may get hurt badly. There's some more badass tournament shots. This trailer is chock full of that, of course. The last few shots that's really shocking is the shot of Tori kicking out someone's tooth, with Amanda, Anthony, all sitting around the TV watching. We saw this in one of the new stills that was released for part 2. Robbie goes full Super Saiyan mode, looking like he's about to take someone's head off. And then one of the most cryptic parts of this trailer is of someone picking up John Kreese's Unjangdo. I don't know if that's Kreese's hand, but it's someone in a black gi. We don't know who it is, but it does look like it's intended to be used, and I don't even want to think about who that's going to be used on and who is using it, because it's only going to result in slaughter, because I don't know if I'm ready for that in Cobra Kai, but it could happen. It probably will happen. It's Chekhov's gun. Let's get the damn season going. The last part of this trailer is definitely the most cryptic, not the last thing. This is the most cryptic because we have no idea what this could mean. The trailer cuts off with like some sort of cut with like a TV, like when something goes off the air. That noise, that like long beep when there's like no signal. What does that mean? And there's actually, you can make out there's like a little static, and you can make out a little bit what's going on. You just see people standing. You can't really make out who it is, but you can see outlines of people, but you just can't really get any context from it. But I wonder what that's going to play, because we've never gotten that in a trailer from Cobra Kai before. So I don't even know. This trailer was chock full of so many goodies for part 2, and I just can't wait to let the chaos ensue, because it's going to be ramping it up to 1,000, a million the entire way. Fight, fight, fight. And this tournament is going to be the best yet. But guys, that's going to do it for my breakdown of the Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 official trailer. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments section your favorite part of this trailer. And leave a like on the video if you got something out of this breakdown here today. And if you didn't, change it to a dislike. Any feedback helps out the channel with the algorithm. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with any Cobra Kai and any Miyagi-verse content. I got you covered here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. No mercy.